Hey, it's Brian Lake back with some more things to help boost your life. And here we go from getpocket.com again. And I'm making this one a little bit wider. This is from a few years ago, but I just came across this article. People were complaining on the other one that they didn't know who and when and the date. So this is Chip Rao, I guess, or Rowe. Top 10 design flaws in the human body. Now, this ought to be interesting. And especially, I haven't read this yet. So if this author mentions evolution or anything like that, this whole design, you can't have evolution in design, dude. It does not work that way. So you're mixing your metaphors, as it were. The Greeks were obsessed with the mathematically perfect body, but unfortunately for anyone choosing that ideal, you're designed not by Pygmalion, I guess, the mythical sculptor who carved a flawless woman, but by MacGyver. Evolution of design, already a warning that this is going to be garbage. Equivalent of duct tape and lumber straps. This is not true. And there's a lot of things, especially you get down to the molecular level and you get in the DNA and RNA and those machines, doesn't produce perfection. Those machines are really, okay. So an unsound spine, problem our spines are a mess. It's a wonder we can even walk. When our ancestors walked on all fours, the spines arch like a bow. This is again mythology to understand the weight of our organs suspended below. But then we stood up, we threw the system out of whack by 90 degrees. The spine is forced to become a column. Next, to allow for bipedalism, it curved forward at the lower back, and to keep the head in balance so that we don't walk again, it curves back in the opposite direction. Sticking about according to one estimate with lower back pain. This is from a weak core and is a modern thing. We sit too much. It's not the design of our spine. We sit way too much, and our chairs are not designed to really give us the proper support. When you find, and there's lower back pain in tribes that are very, tribes that don't sit on their, like we do, is very, very uncommon. This is a modern thing. So we've already got one myth to deal with. An inflexible knee, as Letter says, you take the most complex joint in the body and you put between two huge levers, the femur and the tibia, and you're looking for trouble. The upshot is your knee only rotates in two directions, forward and back. No, it doesn't. That's flex. That's not rotation. I guess it's around the knee itself. But I wouldn't really consider that rotation. That's just flexion and contraction. Upshot is your knee only rotate. Okay, that's why, except maybe rugby, makes it illegal to clip or hit an opponent from the side. That is true. It doesn't have much lateral movement, but if it did, walking would be really tough. This is stupid because we've invented sports that when certain pressures come, certain forces come at odd angles. If you're just walking and hunting and even running through the woods, the likelihood you're going to blow out your knee is extremely small. But if you're doing something like skiing or hockey or football or rugby, because we didn't need it, so we never developed this type of joint knee. Again, the myth of evolution. We do not develop things because of need. All right, moving on. Too narrow pelvis. Now this may actually be true. And I thought this had something to do with modern stuff too. I thought the modern diet actually narrowed the woman's pelvis, but I may be wrong. And to add insult to injury, the width of a million hasn't changed for some 200,000 years. Yeah, I don't know about that. Keeping our brains from growing larger. I don't know about that because our supposed ancestors had larger brains than we did. Our brains have actually, I think is it Homo erectus or is it Neanderthal? I think it was Homo erectus that had a larger brain capacity than we do. So this is already out the door because we actually have smaller brains and there are people with larger heads and brain power size does not necessarily equate to IQ. Many studies have been done that myth has been popped a long time ago, yet still lingers. Exposed testicles. Okay. This might be a problem. Then you rack yourself. But this keeps them the right temperature for us to actually be fertile. Moving the testicle indoors would save men the pain of getting hit. Yes, but when they contract, that means you're cold because they can get too warm inside the body. So that is unlike they get thrown out in the cold because sperm must be kept. Okay, there it is. Gallup hypothesized that these lower temperatures keep sperm relatively inactive until they enter warm confines of a vagina, at which point they're racing. Okay. Prevents from wearing the cells out too early. Evolutionary hack, right? Again, myth, crowded teeth. This is a modern thing. This is something that's happened with modern diet. I'm going to go on. Meandering arteries, blood flow in each of your arms, like via one main artery, which enters the limb. But the biceps and hip, which enters the limb at the front of the body by the biceps or hip flexors to support blood flow to tissues at the limb's backside, such as triceps and hamstrings. The artery branches out, making circuitous routes around bones. Can make for some rather annoying glitches at the elbow, for instance. An artery branch met up with the ulnar nerve, which animates the little finger just under the skin. That's why when your arm goes numb from the lower tip, okay, but who cares? This is a straw man argument. Moving on. Backward retina. The photoreceptor cells in our retina I'm almost over this, because this is, if he gets to an appendix that's not in use, then I'm done, because this so far is just all myth. So octopus and squid just flip the retina. So if it's so obvious, why are only octopi and squids the only ones that have that? No other eyeball. It has, misrouted nerve. Their ability to speak and swallow. The theoretically tip should be equivalent, but during fetal development, the RNL gets entwined in a tiny lump of tissue in the neck, which suspends to become blood vessels near the heart. That drop causes the nerve to loop around the artery before traveling back up the larynx. Having the nerve in the chest makes it vulnerable during or a fist fight. This one's easy, says Rebecca C. German, a professor of anatomy and neurobiology, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't know where that is. I don't know where Rootstown is. While a baby in utero, okay, after sending the exome back of the chest, that's why the nerve won't get dragged down with it. What? Develop the RCN after? Well, that doesn't explain shit. Misplaced voice box. I'm not going to read all this aloud because this is getting stupid. Keep food out of the nectar. Okay, yeah, we have flap. But how, people occasionally choke. Take care from whales. Whatever. A kludgy brain. Myth. Okay, we're other parts. Yeah, whatever. And that's just it. He did not say, I found a breakdown in your mind was involved for different hacks that constructed bodies with the biological equivalent of duct tape. Okay. Whatever. Fun read. Produces function. Flawed. Entirely perfect. Yeah, this is so dumb. And there we go. This was a waste of a few minutes, and I'm really I'm going to put this out there because I took the time to read it. But this is crap. So what do you think? You think I'm full of hooey, or do you think this chip guy? This is just stupid. I mean, when you start with a bunch of myth and legend and then go forward, then well, duh. We weren't designed to take. Again, if your knee went in all directions, you would not be able to walk. You dumb clucker. All right, that's all I've had for this. I'm done. Bye. All right, let's get going. Yeah, we'll make this one a little wider. I'll mention it too. The people complaining these are too small. Awesome. 3, 2, 1.